Amazon graphic design mistakes. This is going to be a really fun video today. I'm just going to go through random listings and show you Photoshop mistakes. I often evaluate listings for my clients that are old. Maybe they've been up since 2016 and they just haven't looked at it again. And it's really from the days when Amazon listings were a lot lower quality as far as graphics go. So let's dig in and see if we can find some mistakes. I I'm just gonna click on the search bar here and see what it wants to tell me. How about plastic Easter eggs? It is Easter. I am revealing what time of year it is. So if you're watching this around Christmas time, I'm sorry that you have to see Easter stuff. So notice that Amazon's Choice, this is the uh, top converting product for this niche, is at $6.99. The two other ranking competitors are about twice as expensive, and this is about 3 times as expensive. So you can understand why this product is probably converting the best. Right off the bat, if I were to make any change with this, I would have put the number of eggs that you get in the title, because guess what? I can see the number of eggs here and I can make a quick price comparison. I can see the number of eggs here and I can make a quick price comparison, but I can't here. It looks like I mean, this doesn't look like 50, so that's again an imagery mistake, but this looks like about the same amount. So let's see. I'm going to click on the listing. Okay, 50. Notice that they just made a title mistake here. I see this a lot where you put it after the dot, dot, dot. So if you have a product and you're designing title and you have a pack number that's important for a price comparison, put it in the middle of your title, because if it's on the end, it's not as good for your SEO. Some categories, it'll be in this little information section, like the amount of tablets that go in the bottle, for example. They're causing bounces for themselves by like what I just did. How many? 50. Okay, right? That's a session according to Amazon, and now your conversion rate is lower for no reason. You could have avoided that. So good thing that they are a comparable amount of eggs. So these two competitors are interesting because Amazon is ranking this one number one at 100 and this one number two at 50, but they're around the same amount of price. I think I was not a math major, but I think that this is probably a lower price per egg. Um, I think that's what my brain tells me. Interesting too, one review. If anybody tells you that you cannot rank number one in an important category with one review, they're lying to you. Number of reviews really doesn't matter as much these days, as long as it's a good one. If this was a 3-star review, that would really hurt your listing ranking. But up to 5 reviews, your review number does not seem to matter. I have never seen it matter very much. Okay, let's take a look and see if we can find some imagery mistakes. Okay, these are just low quality images, that's all. Let's see, this hasn't really been photoshopped. Maybe they messed with the color a little bit, but they just look really washed out is all. And, these eggs feel really low quality. They probably are pretty low quality. And then they give an inspiration for how to use. So, see if we have any A+ pages or anything. Nope. So Amazon is going to give you an internal quality score. This is something that's important to know if you are optimizing an existing listing. The things that go into that internal quality score are how many things have been filled out about this listing. Do you have enough characters in your title? Do you have all 5 bullets filled out? Do you have a material type on the back end? What's the color? What's the use? What's the pack size? What's the measurement? If you're on FBA, you're going to have to put the measurement in. All of those back end identifiers in the listing quality section that Amazon provides now for all sellers, it'll tell you which listings are lower quality for you and why Amazon is saying that. They're not going to give you the actual internal quality score that they've assigned to you, but they will tell you what's hurting your quality for sure. Now, Helium 10, because I just signed into my account, that makes me do that now, which I hate, should bring in a listing quality score for me now. I don't know why it's not loading. There we go. So let's see what listing quality score. Okay, it's going to give me a 10, and that's going to say your title is long enough. You have all of the images on your back end. You can have up to 9 in most categories. Uh, Only 7 will show on the listing. And I see this as a mistake a lot. You should fill out all 9 if you can. It's good for your internal quality because people can still click on the main image and get the other 2 here. It's just you'll put your least important images there, and then your video will show up. They have 4 videos assigned to this listing. Might be helpful for you to know that you can assign more than one related video. And a lot of companies will do like their promo video for their main video and then unboxings or customer use videos. And that's really good for your social proof. Instead of using an infographic that says 5 stars, here's what Karen said about our eggs. My tendency is to say that the customer will never believe what you want to say about your own product, but they are more likely to just ignore your infographic that says 5 stars and click here and say, let's see what people really said. And that's kind of how a customer video works, is it's more social proof that's not coming directly from you, it's coming from the customer or coming from some influencer. Uh, yeah, so let's take a look at some more. Let's go away from Easter eggs. Let's see what else is trending. Might have to go to the main page here. No, now Helium-10 wants to get involved. L-glutamine for some reason. That's random. I don't think L-glutamine is like a top trending product usually. Earbuds usually. There's some products that are always high trending. It was interesting in the pandemic. It was very fascinating to see what the public thought would take care of their health that week. Masks, and then black elderberry was a big thing. It was interesting to watch those trends. So apparently some influencers talking about L-glutamine, which is apparently very good for your gut. All of the ranking competitors here are well-known brands. The thing that I typically see with well-known brands is that they don't optimize their Amazon listings very much because they are pretty pampered in the marketplace. They get a lot of reliable sales and they don't tend to go to their listing optimization until years later. So this has been optimized, but you can see that we're going to have a lower listing quality score because they don't have all of their images uploaded here. So it looks like they have 5. So they don't have a video. I don't know that they have brand registry. Let's see if they have a storefront. So they have a storefront, which means they have brand registry. They should have a video there. They're NutriCost. I'm sure they have a video. It's literally 5 minutes that it would take for their marketing representative to upload that to the back end of their Amazon Seller Central, and they just don't do it because they make too much money and they're not paying attention to it. They're like, hey, we're NutriCost. We're big and important. They only have one seller. Is this only one extra seller on this listing? That's interesting. Also, it's possible that NutriCost doesn't even sell these. It's possible that it's just all third-party sort of resellers. Oh no, they have 2 other ones. So I think I'm only seeing one seller on this. E-supplements, and they're on FBA. In case you don't know, all products that are on FBA will rank better than products that are not on FBA. Let me show you this with Helium-10. I'm really not doing imagery stuff here. I'm doing like more general marketing. So maybe I'll have to make another video that is more about imagery. I'm just kind of flowing in the direction that my brain wants to flow today. Slow loading of data today. All right, this is where the organic rankings start. So that's interesting. Manufacturer fulfillment, FBA, AMZ. Used to be most categories still FBA, 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 AMZ, AMZ. MFN, MFN, MFN. So there was a there was always uh, a clear pattern there that Amazon was suppressing their manufacturer fulfillment because they don't make as much margin on that. Maybe that tide is changing. So this one, I don't love it because there's not a lot of graphics here. Okay, there's an A plus page. See if I can find you. So the drop shadow is a little bit of a problem here. You can just see the broken line there. It almost looks like someone drew a black line here, or maybe outlined the little PNG cutout. So you can see black here, but not here for some reason. It's just like really spotty drop shadow work. Let's see what else we got. These are fine. You're seeing a problem with this that sometimes when you use really high res imagery in A+, because you are limited to such a low resolution that it actually looks more grainy than it even normally would. So sometimes using lower quality images helps in A+, believe it or not. So they have a basic optimization, but they're not fully optimized on this listing. Let's see what Now is doing. Again, Now kind of in the same boat. We're a big supplement company. We don't need to optimize for you. It drives me crazy. I work in consumables a lot. I've probably worked the most in supplements. I can't tell you how many new launch supplements don't list the back of their label. It's the most important thing in a supplement. Your customers are going to be very sensitive about what's going into their body. They need to see the back of your bottle. So I'm glad to see that. The text is big enough. That's usually my main pet peeve. Cross-selling, that's always a really good idea if you have a large product line. Looks like they have all good. They have all their images here. You can see these are on the end and they put the least important ones on the end, which is what you should normally do. Text is a little bit close together there, but it's generally professionally graphic designed. Don't love this. That's kind of a mess. Amazon doesn't allow the R symbols now, so I'm not sure when they got away with that, but they wouldn't get away with it now. Again, Amazon doesn't allow that. So it's showing that this is a very old A plus page to me. Helium 10 will tell me how old this product is. 2015. So yeah, that tracks. L-glutamine is kind of boring so far. I really don't like the updates to the Helium 10 extension. They're trying to make it really account specific, which I don't want them to do. I've worked in Waterpix a lot. I've worked on several. I've worked on 2 Waterpix. Let me see if the Waterpik I've worked on. Well, Waterpik is a brand name. Let's say Water Flosser. I've actually owned a Waterpik before. They're cool. Let's see. No, the water flosser I have worked on is not in the top ranking products. So let's see what's going on. They love water splashes. We're loving that as a graphic design. Interesting. Weird algorithm stuff going on this morning. Look at this. No reviews ranking in the top spot. Let's see how old this product is. Again, you'll see this as the algorithm is testing a new product. It's basically testing out its ranking spots. It's going to say, hey, if we put you in this ranking spot, are you going to convert well? If you don't, you won't maintain that ranking spot. These are against Amazon's terms. Well, they're kind of half and half. I don't know if they're written as being against the terms, but they are not a huge, they're not really done anymore. And I want to say that it's just seen as being tacky. So this does not look like a new listing. I wonder if they had a bunch of reviews pulled down. I'm trying to think if I have a way to check that. Again, I'm falling into talking about marketing when I promised you I would talk about graphics. So I will talk about graphics. Review velocity 1,000. So yeah, it had all 1,300 of its reviews removed. That's devastating. I'm sorry, Chinese company. Makjuns. Okay, Can't read white text over white water droplets. White grainy water droplets at that. Too small on mobile. Really fake looking. This product is probably half as expensive. These are just horrible, so I'm not even gonna, it's not even fun anymore. Yeah, it's a lot cheaper. And so the customer sees this and goes, sweet, I can have a water flosser that'll work for 3 weeks. And maybe that's okay with me. Maybe I just want to try out a water flosser and then return it when it breaks. So that's fine. That is a part of the market, always is. They are missing their brand name and their title. That is a mistake. Amazon doesn't like that very much. Text is too small. Text is too small. They probably pulled these off of their Shopify site, honestly. I see this with a lot of companies trying to save money that they don't hire someone to do their graphics for Amazon, but it's really important. The text is not too small, but this is just bad graphic design. I feel like what we're learning from this is how the charger plugs in. That's a bad Photoshop. I can tell because there's a little hair on the bottom, a little black. If you can see, there's a little black edge on there that just looks really um, incorrect. Also, I can't quite point to it, but if you look at my mouse, this part, how the shadow looks, you can see there's a straight line on the shadow where they just didn't bother to work with it. There's a little fake reflection on the table. I'm guessing what you had is just a stock photo of a table, and then they brought in their box and everything and just set it on there. That's not terrible. The shadow behind is really fake looking. The shadow on the actual flosser itself is unnatural, so you can usually find it in the fuzziness of the shadow. That can almost always tell you where the Photoshop mistakes are. Yeah, just really, really bad graphic design. You can see a white edge here, like right across here. Um, I haven't found any Photoshops that are really slick so far, but I'll show you one that's really slick that I didn't see until I really spent some time on the listing. Reusable paper towels. I'm spending a lot of time in this category recently. It's good. Things are becoming more eco-friendly. So the photo shoot was done with the lemon variation. So you can see that looks really natural. And I was flipping through and looking at some of their other colors, and I realized they photoshopped the blue onto it, but they did it in a really painstaking and careful way. So there was no photo shoot done with the blue, or if it was only done on the white. And this one is from the lemon. So there's a few ways that you can tell. Notice that there's no shading anywhere on this roll at all. The fact that there's no shading along this side is a dead ringer for a Photoshop. You can see that the line is just too hard. And to properly shade this, you would have to spend a lot of time airbrushing it in Photoshop, basically. And they're just not going to spend that time on this. Who knows? Maybe this is a pattern that they're going to have for like a few months this year or another year. And, it just makes sense to not spend that much time on it. Also, look at the fold. There's no shadow there. Let's look at the lemon, see if we can see. You can totally see the shadow on the lemon. So look how natural that looks. And you can see now, it looks like a cartoon. They did add shadow around her finger, so good job for them. But you can see a little bit of a yellow here where they've masked it out. I see yellow right around here. You can look at my mouse. So yeah, this was a really slick Photoshop. I thought they did a good job with it. You might be able to see the lemon in the actual reflection here on the table. Yeah, see that? If you look at that, they just turned it blue, but they kept the lemon in it. So that's fun. These are also fake. You can see that they treated a little bit of shadow under her fingers, but you can see that her fingers are reflected yellow here. Again, it's the yellow from the actual yellow photo shoot. So I see stuff like this all the time. I have a lot of fun with it. Yeah, see again, they just turned it blue. That's all. And then this one, same thing. This one looks really good, actually. They worked a lot more with shadow here. So this is a lot of Photoshop work. This photo probably took, 30 minutes to an hour just to make it look nice. So it's a lot of work just to not take a photo. And sometimes you just don't have those photos to work with. Sometimes you bring in that print after the photo shoot is done and you're not going to do another photo shoot just to get that other print. But yeah, that was just kind of a fun one. Let's do one more. Let's try to think of a category that has really tight graphic design. Used to be sunglasses. Do I want to do sunglasses? Yeah, let's check out sunglasses. What is this? WAP? Oh, Wear Me Pro. I know Wear Me Pro. I worked for them. Glad to see they're around. Sojos, Jessica Simpson. She's new here. Demikos. Never heard of these people. Okay, this one's not optimized. They just have their comparison chart basically from their website. What makes me think it's from their website is the text is so small. And you can't magnify here, which means this is probably under the resolution that Amazon allows. These are real photos, so that's cool. A lot of them are probably customer photos, maybe a few that they've had photo shoots done. Okay, they have a brand story. Love this. Cool. You can tell they've invested a lot of money in their actual marketing. Now they need to invest it in actually optimizing their listing. But what this listing tells me is we're a big deal, we make a lot of money, and we don't care about necessarily optimizing. We've optimized in a few certain places, but we haven't optimized our listing images. Which is funny because that's the first thing the customer sees and probably the most important thing for their marketing funnel. Let's just check out Jessica Simpson. Sometimes I can find some really funny Photoshops in sunglasses. Nope, not optimized either. I'm Jessica Simpson. You'll buy my product whether I optimize or not. It's a bad A+ page. Jessica Simpson's pretty. I like her logo, but the A+ page is kind of an eyesore. What's going on with her mouth here? Weird. It just looks weird pixelated like that. This reminds me of Woody's. This looks like they almost either Shady Rays or Woody's. Like they stole the idea behind them. Okay, this is attempting to be optimized, but the graphic is the wrong size here. Let's just make sure. Interesting. Normally I can click into this. I think it's just going to save it as a web image. I want to save the PNG so I can check the size of it. Good, it's a JPEG. Yeah, it's too small and it's the wrong size. It's not square. 1000 times 1000 pixels, people. Okay, text is too small. Yeah, sunglasses is really disappointing so far. Let's check an actual niche. Sojos. Wow, Sojos is really dominating. Jessica Simpson again. Well, this is boring. Here's Woody's. Here's my old friend Corey. Corey at Woody's. Is this an ad? Okay, I don't think that's an ad. If it's an ad, I'm sorry, Corey. Corey, you have not optimized recently. I think this is the same stuff that I saw the last time I talked to you. All right, I'm not going to go there. Well, sunglasses is definitely a letdown so far here. Well, this is pretty. What a nice render. Most of these are cartoons, by the way. I don't think any of these are photographs. That's beautiful. Love that. Okay, I would add infographics here. They only have 7 images. Interesting that I'm not able to click into any of these. This seems category specific. Whoever did these renders, I want their number. Nice, they didn't do any special A plus design. So what we have learned from the glasses category is if you are launching a new product, you don't need to invest in your imagery necessarily because your competitors are not doing it. So if you do decide to optimize your imagery, you will be ahead of the game, unlike some other categories that require it, like bamboo toilet paper or diapers or supplements of any kind. Hopefully this has been informative. I feel like I didn't focus as much on imagery as I wanted, so maybe I'll be doing another part to this video later.